Oh. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's a nice song. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, that's sick. Oh, that's a sick song. Oh, that is sick as hell. That is sick as hell. That is sick. What's up? What's up, chap? Alright, let me just put this here so people can be reminded whenever they want. Chat, let's have a chat. About what? We'll get there in a second. Damn shit serious when the VTuber's gone. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? It's a minute and 5 seconds. I could say swear words now. Fuck it. No VTuber today. That's how serious. That and I can't be fucked to actually turn it on. But chat. Guys. We've got no Bionic. We've got no Kawaii. We've got no Heaven. We've got no Kitty. We've got no Wade. We've got nothing. We've got nobody. Nobody wants to hang out with me. Nobody wants to say anything to me. No, everybody hates me. No. You know, I walked into the room last night, I farted, and now everybody hates me. So it's just me today. And so, yeah. It's just me today. While I have almost 20 people here, I want you guys to go and read my, community post. I don't want to talk about it on stream. At least not, you know, directly about it, because I really don't want to talk about it, but my hand was forced. Unfortunately, some drama happened a few months ago. I cut some people off and I moved on. Unfortunately, the people I cut off did not feel the same way and feel like that they've been done wrong. So, you know, it's been 6 months of me being bullied, essentially. If you guys knew the things that's been directed at me, both privately and publicly, over the last 6 months, it's borderline bullying. And so, unfortunately, my hand was forced. And so, shoutouts to Lay Melody. Chat, go subscribe to their channel. I've linked a video for you guys that you guys should watch. In my community post. I'm not gonna share it here because I just don't care about it. I shared it once and I'm not gonna share it again. If you guys really care about what it was happened to me the past 6 months, you guys can go to my community post and see the link that I shared with you all. Because another YouTuber by the name of Lay Melody made a very damning video recently, exposing some of the people that have been bullying and harassing me for the past 6 months, and I've kept quiet about it. I've tried to move on, and unfortunately, when if those people are secretly lurking here to see if they can complain. If they are, it just shows how much of a coward they are, because they refuse to name drop. I mean, to be fair, I'm not name dropping either, but it's for the sake of professionalism. I don't try. I try to avoid name dropping people nowadays because it's unprofessional. But they don't name drop because they are cowards. And once people find out once people find out context, suddenly their story falls apart. They would rather tweet than actually talk. That's sad, honestly. So I'm honestly surprised they haven't made a thread sucking each other's dicks off yet. So 6 months and they non-stop talk about it with no names. It's like talking to a wall. Yeah, and it's been very stressful. It's been incredibly stressful. I never want to. It's something I never want to deal with again. And yeah, some of you guys interact with the person that I'm talking about, so I highly encourage you guys to watch the video I shared in the community post. So, because I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this harassment, and I will not take. And I'm not going to stand for it anymore. I gave them so many months to sort themselves out. Hello, did I miss anything important last 7 minutes? We're just talking about what I posted in the community chat, Days Memories, yesterday. And ultimately, yo, Arthur Morgan with the 34 months. Thank you. Shouts to Arthur Morgan. Everything alright? I'm gonna give you a TLDR, Arthur, since you haven't been around, so I understand why you wouldn't know what's happening. So TLDR, Arthur, if you've noticed, some people that used to be part of the streams are no longer around anymore, and that is because, unfortunately, myself and some individuals went our separate ways. I don't even know who that person is. I'm sure you guys will know who they are. Okay, I'm losing train of thought. All right, here's the very TLDR version, Arthur. Me cut someone off because that person defend bad person. Me moved on. However, 6 months later, after this event happened, they have been going on Twitter every single week, basically talking shit about me, and you know, and it's been horrible because I've had people even go as far as to say, like, you guys all watch this pathetic Silver VA. You know, if you guys want to know who I'm talking about, you can DM me, and I'll let you guys know. Which, by the way, that constitutes defamation. And if I catch that person, if someone leaks a screenshot of that person actually DMing someone, you know, to talk shit about me, that is defamation, and they will be receiving a cease and desist as well. They are incredibly lucky that I've not seen any actual physical screenshots, though. And it's weird because it got so bad that in November of 2024, I had issued a pre-cease and desist warning to 3 individuals. And the deal was, hey, I won't talk about you guys ever again on Twitter if you guys don't talk about me ever again. Deal? Deal. So, 2 weeks later, that deal was broken. Because, unfortunately, a lot of horrible things happened to me at the end of last year. You know, it got so bad that I was falsely being accused of being a pedophile when I didn't even know who the person that they're talking about is. Because they were claiming I dated a minor. However, I'd never even met this person in my life. And it turns out that they mistook me for another person with a similar name. I was not going to talk about this, but considering the fact that I've been harassed for 6 months, I'm going to talk about it. Actually fucking brain dead, honestly. And, yeah, that was a really horrible experience. That was a really horrible experience, and I never want to experience that ever again. And it was just so bizarre because it was so ironic that the person that harbored a pedophile was trying to call me a pedophile. I find that incredibly fucking rich. And just shows to how brain dead they are, but you know. And you want to know why this all started? This all started because the person that harbored the pedophile got unmodded by Jules on his streams, right? And for some fucking reason, they say that that's my fucking fault. And I have no... Let me DM you.
Does an apple a day keep the doctor away? Only if you throw it hard enough.
And so yeah, if you guys want to get a very basic understanding of what's been happening in the past 6 months, I really encourage you guys to watch that video that I published in my community tab. If you guys don't want to get too deep into it, that's the most superficial explanation you guys are going to get. But it being a good enough explanation. Days of Memories, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. And so, yeah, this all escalated because Jules unmodded the person that I cut ties with, and for some reason it just got fucking... Bro, they think Jules is incapable of paying attention to things. Look, the fact that they thought that they were going to stay modded is crazy to me. Now, the main argument here is, oh, well, Cisco doesn't give second chances to people. You're right. I don't give chances to people who harbor pedophiles. I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm glad we're on the same page. You're finally getting it. You finally understood. And I've only had the courage to speak out about this now because I want to appreciate everybody who has finally took a stand for this, because there's been several people who have called them out now, and name dropped them and stuff. This is the only reason why you guys are even hearing about this, because, you know, for the past couple of years, it's just been a lonely battle. Just me alone. Like, yeah, there would be friends of mine who would agree with me, but no one would actually, you know, publicly go, yeah, Cisco was right. And it really fucking hurt that no one would actually... It was only ever me the past couple years where I was just getting the brunt of everything. You know, despite everybody agreeing with me, it was only ever me getting, you know, tweets made of. It was only me that people were targeting for some reason. I don't know if it was because I'm the biggest creator out of the group of people that talked about this, or I don't know what the deal was. I don't understand why I was the one that was being targeted. Because, like, even a couple of weeks ago, right? Lay Melody made a tweet, made a video, right, about the situation first, right? Guess who got blamed for that video? Do you guys want to take a wild guess of who they blamed for that video? That's right, good old Cisco, because he's the mastermind behind everything, apparently. I've had no involvement in anyone's videos, anyone's tweets. I simply asked to be left the fuck alone, and you know, and then you had some, and then more of their friends, you know, came to attack me, call me a pathetic silver VA, which, listen, if you want to say that my VA is bad and stuff, by all means, you know, you have the right to. But to call me a pathetic silver VA for something I didn't even fucking do? Fuck, man. I didn't even do anything. Like, at this point, at this point, I had enough, because it got to the point where some people were just straight up making things up. It's deja vu all over again. If you guys remember my community post from about a year ago, I was getting blamed for other things that were unrelated. But do you want to know why people put the blame on me for and paint me as a bad person? Because I'm usually the one that's outspoken. Like, for example, all my friends, they were on the same page about how shitty they are. But for some reason, because I'm the one that's actually saying it out loud, I'm the one that's causing the problem. But literally everybody agrees that it's a problem. But because I'm the one that will actually talk about it, suddenly I'm the only one that's causing the problem. And then I get painted as someone who creates drama because I'm the only one who actually will stand up for people. I mean, one of the people that have been constantly talking shit about me, the reason that we stopped talking to each other is because they were bullying someone that we both used to know. And I told them to knock it off. In hindsight, they weren't entirely wrong about the individual in question that they were bullying. To be fair, like that was an L on my part, but this is why I'm excited to do the new channel, guys. Because on that new channel, you're not gonna hear anything from me ever again. I'm not gonna talk about anything on that channel. This channel will be my personal character channel, if that makes sense. But the new channel will be what I wanted Silver and Friends to be. But unfortunately, Silver and Friends has just been tainted now. It has just been unfairly tainted. Because I said pedophile's bad. And the main... It's not that... The problem is not that I said pedophile's bad, to be fair. It's the fact that I don't give people second chances for defending pedophiles. That's the main... that's the main point of contention, according to people against me. Which I find absolutely ludicrous. Because, yes, I'm not going to give some people second chances. Congratulations. And it really hurts. It really fucking hurts, man, because, like, a couple of the people that have been harassing me are people that I've had many special memories with. If you guys ever remember watching the Among Us streams, you'll know the individuals very well that I'm talking about. And it fucking hurts, man. Like, not many dramas hurt for me. It's not many dramas that get to me, but this one does. This one does, because it was a long time viewer. It was a long time viewer, one of my biggest supporters ever. Not financially, but in terms of actually being there every stream and participating in every single thing I do. And for them to get brainwashed and taken away, it fucking hurts, man. It really fucking hurts. And to the person that brainwashed him, fuck you. Fuck you. It's just always something. And I don't want to cause a pity party, right? I don't want people to have a pity party for me, but this is all while I'm battling stage 3 lymphoma that I'm getting harassed. Like, how can you pray to God, and say that, like, oh, I'm gonna give people second chances when you literally harass a guy who's going through some serious treatment? You are a monster. I don't believe in God, right? But if I did, this is not what God would have wanted. I'm pretty sure that is not what any of this, because this is what happened, chat. They all preached to listen, it's okay to preach to God, right? But they've become horrible people because of it. It's cult behavior. It's straight up cult behavior, chat. Like, I've been targeted by a cult. And, I hope I never hear from... I genuinely hope I never hear about this again. But you guys know that in the next 3 days you'll see them tweet about it. Because they just have to have a final say. They just can't help themselves. They have to have a final word. Why is the music being like this? All these people that end up harassing me, it always starts out because I quote unquote didn't check up on them or I didn't care for them, and it's like, brother, I'm the streamer and you're the viewer. It's your fault that you thought that we were anything more than close acquaintances. The amount of times that I've had people turn on me because I didn't quote-unquote keep up our friendship, and it's like, because it never was a friendship. It never was. I never claimed that we were friends. You claimed we were friends. I had one of them confront me in a private call a few months ago, basically telling me off for not, you know, checking up on someone. However, neither of these people I ever said were my friends. I never stated that. It's like the fact that and so unfortunately, when I do my new project, my days of actually trying to be nice to people are done. I'll still be nice, obviously. I'm just saying, as in, like, I'm not going to add you on Discord no matter how much you donate or how much you watch my streams. Those days are done. I'm not going to follow. They're done, those days. You know, I've tried to be nice to people, and I get backstabbed because people think that we're closer than we actually were. All I wanted was to be left alone. Thank you for the membership, Elliot. I appreciate it. And of course I get more than usual regular viewers, because of course, when there's tea, of course people flock in. I hope I never have to make a stream like this again. I'm very much done now. And all this. Remember, chat. This is only. I'm only talking about this because they just couldn't stop tweeting about me and my friends. They had. Like, if you keep tweeting about me anonymous, like in a subtweet manner, I'm going to cook you one day, and you're going to wish you never subtweeted about me. I get that there's this one person I see on other channels, and when they have a problem, they ask me to talk with that person on their behalf. I tell them I don't know you, nor am I close. Yeah, that's just... That shouldn't fall on you to do that job. Never be someone's messenger unless it's really impossible for them to actually contact the other person. Or at least, at the very least, if it's because they want, if it's because they want, you know, an extra support, then that's fine. You know, be a medium, but never be the actual mouthpiece. It's not worth it. What's up, Bionic? Cisco needs a hug. It's not that it's not that bad. I just wanted a stream or video to just talk to you guys one-on-one about how I feel. And you know, and yeah. They usually end up being banned, probably for negative or annoying comments. That's kind of what happened to the individuals that I'm talking about, Night Fury. The biggest culprits of this whole situation that I posted in the community tab, they've all been ousted by a lot of people. But I'm the one that's in the wrong, apparently. Even though there's like upwards of like, I'd say upwards of 30 people have cut ties with them. But they're in the right and I'm in the wrong, because that's exactly how it works. Even though I've provided receipts for every single thing. Because there's been people out there who say stuff like, "Oh, I can't believe I blindly believed Cisco." I'm sorry. Are you fucking dense? I always provide screenshots for every single thing that's ever happened. I do not want to hear about people blindly believing me. I've always provided the evidence when asked. They always boast about being that they've matured and they are better than everybody. That's the thing that's the thing, chat. The people who have been harassing me for the past 6 months, they always keep tweeting stuff like, "Oh, I've moved on. I'm so glad I cut ties with Cisco. you know, I've become a much better person now. But then we'll always subtweet about me. So it's like, if you've truly moved on, you would not constantly tweet every single week without fail. You just don't. I'm sorry, you don't. You tweet once or twice and that's it. These people don't know what moving on means. Honestly, if you've truly moved on, you would shut the fuck up. But they can't stop talking. And unfortunately for them, they have messed with the wrong person in the form of Lay Melody. Who will, and you know, she's already stated it at the end of her video. Every time they talk about her now, every time they start subtweeting, she's gonna keep making videos about them. So it's really up to them. If they don't want videos about them, it's in their best interest to not subtweet anymore. But at the same time, if you keep tweeting about moving on, but then you keep talking about situations, people are gonna catch on. People aren't fucking idiots. Even the most brain dead of people will catch on to the fact that you've not moved on. Like, the amount of times I've been painted over the last 6 months as a manipulator who lies and stuff, and it's like, brother, we don't talk about you. No one cares about you anymore. You want us to care about you, but we don't. The only reason that this has escalated recently is because they've tried to bring, you know, talk shit about people who had nothing to do with anything. Yo, James D. Morris with a 149. Appreciate it, man. It's just weird because, like, if you truly felt that you've been wronged, why don't you call me out? Name drop me. I dare you. You are in for a world of pain if you ever name drop me. Because I hate to say it, but if you name drop me for no and with no, like, if you name drop me to talk shit, I will throw my fucking clout about. I will rain on you like a ton of bricks. I will make you regret ever talking about me and make you go back to stocking shelves. And the most disgusting part about this chat is, despite them constantly tweeting about me and my friends, we got into a call with them back in November. Do you want to guess what happened, chat? the main person involved stayed silent. They were too much of a coward to actually say something when they actually got confronted me in a call. So, you can have all your redemption all you want. You can say that you've moved on all you want. But I'll always remember that call where you became a coward. You little worm. Oh, but Cisco, you shouldn't call them a worm. Well, they shouldn't call me a pedophile then. I'm glad we're on the same page. And I know what's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna get hit with the, oh, but Cisco, it's been 6 months since we called you a pedophile. You should move on, man, like we do. Bitch, do you know how damaging it is to be falsely called a pedophile? That took me a long time to get over. That took me a long time to get over. That is the That was the single-handed worst accusation I have ever been given. And all because they were too dumb to fucking read. With no proper evidence. Brother, they didn't even have any evidence. They had nothing. They legit couldn't bring up a single screenshot. It's not even proper evidence. There just wasn't anything. It was the most non-existent accusation that has ever been brought forward on the internet. And so, no, I'm not going to move on from that. You can't just call someone a pedophile with no evidence and expect the other person to just, you know, be fine with that. You just can't. And it's just, their whole behavior was so bizarre, man. Like, one month they would say like, oh, people need to hop off VR chat and they need to get a life. And then a month later, I see them making whole ass VR chat videos and stories in the game. And I'm like, what happened to being all high and mighty and not being on fucking VR chat? Because people have no lives, quote unquote. Especially when those accusations are defamatory. Oh, Dominic, don't you worry. Don't you worry, I got into a call with them the same day I found out about these accusations, and I threatened them with legal action. And then they hit back at me by saying like, oh, well, we didn't actually call you a pedophile, we just heard it from someone. And it's just... what? Do I look like I'm fucking born yesterday? If you heard it from someone, why still believed in supposed... Chat, if someone ever DMs you to talk about me, let me know, because 9 times out of 10, it's people out to get me. In a Discord chat, they made a joke about Cisco's cancer. Wow. Do you have a screenshot of that? Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't really do anything with that information, because... like, I believe you. I just won't do anything with it because, you know, I want to hold a standard to where I'll actually do something about something. I'm sorry, making a joke about someone's cancer? You're actually fucking evil. You're actually evil. There's no redemption for you. There's no redemption for you. It's evil. That's evil if that's true. I have to give him a benefit of the doubt because I need evidence. But man, Man, that is a serious... That is crazy. All that talk about redemption and stuff. I really hope that those DMs come to light. Shade. I know you've said you've blocked them, but you can still go. You can still type their name. If you go look for a mutual server that they're in, and right click on the name, because DMs still exist. Even after blocking, so. That is pretty damning if that's true. That wasn't funny at all. Crazy shit. Like, how much of a fucking psychopath do you have, a deranged psychopath do you have to be to make fun of someone's cancer, when the worst thing I've ever done is cut you off? Notice how these people have not actually called me out by name, because they don't actually have anything against me. I don't believe in God, but I know the basic understanding of what God's about. You know, according to people that do believe in God. And if you think that you're gonna go to heaven and God's gonna love you after making fun of someone with cancer, you have another thing coming. Hell is waiting for you on the other side if you don't actually redeem yourself. Again, I don't believe in God, but I do believe in karma. And karma always comes. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, because let me tell you guys, when I was friends with these individuals, they actually would say stuff like, "Hey dude, I hope your cancer treatment's going well," and stuff. So the fact that I'm hearing from people that they've actually been making fun about my cancer is... How can you not... How does that not compute to you that you're being fucking evil? Shame on you. How do you want people to give you a second chance when you make fun of people's cancer? How do you want... How? How do you want people to give you a second chance? There's only so much second chance. A second chance only takes you so far. I cannot believe it. I really want to see screenshots of that at some point. Hopefully they do. But man, you can call me, you can say a lot of things about me, but I've never made fun of someone for their health condition. You guys can at least give me that much. I have a family member who has a brain cancer and he knew about it. Here's the thing. I do think it's different when the person themselves is making a joke about it because it's a coping mechanism. It's just the person who's ill, I believe, have the right to make a joke about it because they have, they're going through a horrible time, right? So it's a coping mechanism to some people to make jokes about their bad situation. But another thing is to make a joke about someone else when you... How do I explain this? If you're only making a joke about my cancer because I don't talk to you anymore, that is when you're an evil person. However, if you're still a friend of mine, right, and I've given you that blessing, then it's whatever. Because it's not the first time someone's made fun about my cancer, but it's different when you're friends with someone. If you're not friends with someone anymore, and they genuinely hate your guts, that's not out of... That joke is not from a good place anymore. And guess fucking what, chat? Because I am a couple of steps away from fucking beating cancer. So go fuck yourself! Eat fucking shit. Eat fucking shit. I've got an appointment on the 12th of July to have radiation therapy. Because it's not all gone, but it's going in the right direction. Oh, chat, that has really fucked me up. That completely froze their entire argument. Because, like, do you guys remember at the start of the stream where I told you guys that that it all started because, you know, I wasn't checking up on someone on their mental health and stuff? That completely throws that argument out the window now. I mean, it was already out the window to begin with, but how can you criticize me for not checking up on someone's mental health when you make jokes about my fucking cancer? Oh, I'm gonna make it my fucking mission you never make it now. As a content creator. I will make it my fucking mission now. You just had to keep talking. My God. Is mine lagging? I've not received any issues from YouTube. All right, I'm gonna open up my phone. I'm gonna watch the stream. Alright. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the stream. Nah, y'all schizo. Is mine lagging? I'm not. Yeah, nah. Sorry to everybody saying that it's lagging, but y'all schizo today. That's it's not lagging. It's not lagging anymore. Alright. It's whatever. It's not that important anyway. We're an hour into stream. We've got about 55 minutes to go. I've arrived for support. I appreciate Blue Star. Do you want to know something, chat? Do you want to fucking know something, chat? This isn't even the first time that someone has made fun about my cancer. This is the second time that I've heard this story now. Not even from the same person. It's from another content creator who I'm not going to name because I've moved on. They've moved on. Oh, finally. And last thing I want to do is drag it on, but it's just incredible that second Blabella, you know this. It's just mind-boggling. It's like, oh, I dislike Cisco. Am I going to dislike him for genuine things? Am I going to criticize him for actual things that he may have done wrong? Nope! I'm going to make fun of his cancer. That's going to make me look good. I've had a lot thrown at me this past 24 months. I've had another content creator accuse me of racism with no evidence, obviously, because, you know, 90% of things that people accuse me of, no one ever provides any evidence for. It's just crazy shit. Just crazy shit, man. It's like, why? How do you expect people to actually be on your side when you do things like this? People are going to ask eventually. Like, this sort of harassment's gotten so bad that one person went to my boss to try and get me fired. It's not the same people that I'm mentioning before, but it's just an example of the things that I've had to deal with. Wait, it was in person? It wasn't in person, it was like a Discord call. Luckily they've stopped now because they had to. I threw a cease and desist at them. If I had a penny for every time I had to throw a cease and desist at someone, I would have 2 pennies, which isn't a lot, but it's crazy that I've had to do it twice in a year to 2 different people. Actually, 4 different people actually. But for 2 different instances. One was a content creator, and 3 was for the same incident that happened in November. With the whole pedo stuff. So I've issued 3 cease and desists for the pedo shit, and I've issued 1 cease and desist for the false racial allegations. But again, not a single screenshot. Isn't that hilarious? Not a single screenshot. Just one flimsy source that can't even... that's dyslexic. I understand why you didn't want to bring the... It was horrible. It's been a horrible... it's been a horrible burden to have. I was not far off from quitting content creation altogether a few months ago. I was very close. It was getting unbearable. And I'm not quite sure. I've never been a suicidal person, obviously, so I'm never gonna say that I was gonna end up like that, but there were there were times where I just genuinely didn't know what to do next. Like, there were nights where I was just straight up crying to sleep. It's the worst 12 months of my content creating career that I've had. I don't think I don't think it can get worse than what has already happened. You know, and with the new office almost being done, we're going to be doing plastering tomorrow. Chat, some amazing things are going to come in. The good, like, the last 20 months have been genuinely terrible. But the good times are coming, chat. I promise the good times are coming. Once you guys see the new project that I've been working on the past year, the good times are coming. You know, I've had to suffer in silence for a long time, working away at this new idea of mine. It's not a new idea I created, but it's certainly an idea that I've seen other people do that I want to perfect. And it's nice to know that I'm not alone anymore. I know people. Listen, chat. I know a lot of my friends believed me and knew that I did nothing wrong, but for a long time, nobody truly spoke out in my support, and it really. I'm not trying to shame anybody into not helping me or backing me, but it just for a long time it always felt like I was doing this alone. And it's mostly because most people didn't want to get involved in drama, but in not getting involved, it just felt like I was alone. Back for a moment. Where would one send evidence of said person? Do you have, are you mutuals with anybody in this chat? I think that would be a first step to ask. You must be mutuals with someone, right? Then you can send it to Blue Bower, I guess. I will ask Blue Bower to not share it about the screenshot in any group chat, or because I want to see it for myself, the evidence, to see whether it's substantial or not. I want to know whether this is actually something that that needs to be taken further or not. Oh, hey, JP. What a time for you to arrive. Let me get into serial cam because there's a few people around now. Oh my god, I was looking for the first 20 minutes or so. Yeah. What, the first 20 minutes of the stream? Because it's like an hour and 20 now.
Hello.
Hello, JP.
Yeah, I was first 20 minutes of the stream. Just figured I would listen to see what you had to say.
Well, I've said everything I've had to say. Well,
Yeah.
how do I explain this? I thought I had everything I had to say, but I was talking about the community post I made yesterday, and I wanted to give some more complete thoughts on the whole situation. However, I'm currently waiting on some DMs at the moment because a former friend of the people that we were talking about is making a serious allegation that they were making fun of my cancer, and so I'm waiting on evidence on that. If that's true. That changes things, you know.
Making fun of someone's cancer. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you get you get used to it, JP. This is the second time in a year, so I just get used to it at this point. As sad as that sounds.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, just like how low do you have to be to do that?
Like, it's no secret that I have enemies. We all know this. I get it, right? I'm not an idiot. But you'll never ever catch me getting to that point of hating someone to the point where I'll be like, oh, this person has this disease or this condition, so of course they think this way. Like I've never gone to that length. So it's so bizarre how someone can look at me and be like, you know what? I hope that guy something happens to him. It reminds me of a time where many years ago I had a car crash, right?
Right.
And despite me having serious injuries, I had a fractured hip, but that's as far as it went, luckily, despite many weeks of physiotherapy that it took. I later found out that a former friend had, gone on record to say, like, oh, I hope Cisco had worse injuries from his car crash. Which was just... So... It's quite... If I had a... Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of person, JP, where I keep record of every single beef I've ever had. So I don't have I don't have this massive folder that everybody thinks I have. But if I kept record of everything, the amount of people that have wished my serious downfall is crazy.
Oh my gosh. I'm not that petty, no. Neither am I. I don't do that stuff. Just like... Now, if you're like, maybe you're in... I don't know, legal trouble with someone and you want to catch them in the act, maybe, because you want to do something. But like, if you're just having beef with someone like that, no, I'm not that petty to keep track of all their freaking messages. Because that is just ridiculous. doing, Bionic? What are you doing?
I feel like one of the lyrics I'd say to Cisco is, "Cut you off just like a tumor."
Huh?
Wow, that is... Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
What the hell?
No, I'm just reading these DMs from that I've... Let's just say I finally know why Cisco carousel of co-hosts even existed. Okay, so I think they're referring to the fact that I've had a different co-host over time, but it's kind of weird because they know why I have different co-hosts. Like these individuals that are making fun of my health and shit. They've been long-time viewers, so I'm confused why I'm seeing these kind of comments being like, "Oh, I finally know why Cisco had this and that." And I'm like, you already knew for like 5 years why I don't hang out with the same people. I'm confused here. Okay, chat. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not name dropping, but I'm going to explain. I'm going to give a TLDR as to why, to my list of hosts on streams, and why they've not all been ditches. Some of them have been amicable parting ways. There was one person that used to be my host, that was my ex-girlfriend, but I soon realized that was a terrible idea. And so we went our separate ways, because they eventually banned Damatoon from their chat because they were a minor or something, and I was like, okay. Then I had another co-host who I parted ways with because they refused to ban someone in my Discord server who was spamming slurs. And that's why I parted ways with them. Then I had a group of people in the past that I've done stuff with, and we just fell out and we parted ways. And now I have this group of individuals. So to say that, to imply that I have different hosts like a carousel because I'm an evil person is straight up weird, because they know half of these people and why I stop talking to them. It's a dark and horrible realization. What the That is crazy. I'm just reading these DMs from January from them. They're talking about how I ditched a former Blaze VA, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not what happened. They just... I criticized them for not banning someone for, for not...
driving and beat that cancer. You're not alone through this. Clapping emoji, yellow heart emoji.
Thank you, Wait City. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, so they're talking about how I ditched a Blaze VA, but what this person is failing to realize is this Blaze VA, we did stuff for like a couple weeks at most together. It was not... They were never a permanent fixture in my stuff.
Right.
Cisco's female hosts are in legitimate...
Wait, what?
You're in danger, Bionic, because you're a female, apparently.
Wait, what?
Fucking hell. Fucking hell, people throw all sorts of fucking shit my way.
I'm sorry,
Fucking
what?
hell.
What, are they trying to say you're a fucking harasser or something?
Fucking hell.
Man, I guess that's the one thing in the book that no one's called you yet, but there it is. Who's speaking for the women in your group? Some fucking incel? Who can't get attention from women otherwise, so he fucking paints people as abusers when they aren't?
Siska was manipulative during the time when he was with her to the point where she was suicidal. What the fucking hell? People just make up any fucking thing. Holy shit. If I'm that much of a horrible person, why has no one made a Google Doc on this stuff then? I'm waiting, because I'll easily debunk you and send you a cease and desist in the process.
The doorway writers, yeah, that's how it feels.
She was the biggest fucking mistake of my life.
Oof. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I'm just reading all these DMs. It's just a tragic tale of someone getting one side of the story and not actually seeing the other side to see whether it's actually true.
Because it's women. They only believe women. Because they're incels! Well, not really incels. It's just more like they're just men that are desperate for women's attentions and favors, I guess. Not really an incel in that regard, because it's like, incel is like when they really fucking despise women. But, like, the opposite of incel, I guess. But it just sounds like a fun word to use.
Sorry, chat. Let me read some of your comments. I basically let him run his mouth because he just kept going. Well, that's one of the biggest issues. They just won't stop.
Yeah.
They just don't stop, and then they make.
Yeah.
Chat, let me give you all some advice when it comes to beef, right? If you know you're right, and the person you're up against is one of those people that keeps talking about it,
They kind of mouth themselves out at that.
if you let the other person keep talking about the drama or the beef or the past stuff that I've quote unquote done, eventually they will contradict themselves, and you will win in the long term the more they speak. So yes, I've been hurting a lot the past 12 months, but eventually the people that have been against me have tripped themselves over in the end because they just couldn't help themselves. I don't know why it is. If it's like some kind of like power trip, feeling powerful that you've got some people on your side against me and stuff, and it's just madness.
It's like, the way I see it, right? It's like I kind of said before, the more you're talking and ranting to people, the more you just kind of show yourself out, because
And it's crazy because apparently, according to these DMs, they've barely started talking to each other in DMs, and it's like, so you're talking about me in this fashion to someone you've only just met? That's an interesting.
It's just like the
Why would you
people
do
who
that?
It's like I said, the way I see it, the people that just don't stop talking with these situations, they're the ones that out themselves out because they know they're in the wrong, and the more they talk to people because they try to make them believe that they aren't. It's like it's a weird manipulation tactic that people do. They just talk in any way, shape, or form that can make them look better because they know they're in the wrong subconsciously, but they want to defend themselves to death because they don't want the chance for someone else to realize they're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they twist it so that they're the victim.
They do that, yeah. They do that, and they just yap because they just are deep down, subconsciously, they know they're in the wrong, but they don't want other people to know that they're wrong. So they have this huge defense mechanism.
And then
you know?
slowly but surely,
And slowly you burn
words.
yourself out, buddy. You just kind of,
Yeah.
you just kind of take yourself out to the trash.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
as they try to
it's
make
like-
themselves the victim, that's when they fumble. And they realize, like, wait a minute, no, you contradicted yourself, like when you said this earlier. And they're just like, oh shit. And then that's when they are caught.
That's why it's like crazy. Is like, I don't know why you guys think it's a good idea to just keep yapping everywhere all the time when the other party that you're so-called against, like, is the bad party, doesn't even say anything because there's nothing to defend. But if you know what I mean, because if other team is in the right, the only time they start to speak is when it's necessary because there's no other reason for them to talk about it anymore. You know what I mean? But they're just those people. They just yap. They're the ones, the yap festers. They're the ones that are guilty to me more than anyone else.
It's
They
just.
feel they need to defend themselves in every way, shape, and form possible.
It's just bizarre because, like,
It's weird.
I've
It's weird psychology. I don't know.
like going back to the accusation that was thrown at me, saying that I pushed my ex-girlfriend to the point of suicide. Would that not be good grounds for a Google Doc against me?
You would think.
That's a pretty serious thing you're accusing me of. Like,
Yeah.
and if that was if someone actually did that, that is very good grounds to out them as a horrible person. But to say that and just not. Where are the screenshots of this? It's the same thing every single time. All these people throw all these eggs at me with no actual screenshots of this actually happening. Show me where I've manipulated my ex to the point of wanting to kill herself. I'm sorry she feels that way, but this did not happen. This did not happen. Here's what did happen, though. When we broke up and I didn't take her back, she self-admitted herself to an asylum. Is that truly someone you want to take sides with?
I don't know, that's a little... I mean, I understand being hurt, but it's a little extreme, unless they already had, like, underlying things.
I don't doubt that I don't doubt that they had... And by the way, we were in a relationship for, like, 2 fucking weeks. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Making it sound like as if this... Like, the way I'm reading these tweets makes it sound like as if this is, like, a multiple... This is, like, for a long time, me driving them to suicide. I'm like, we were barely dating for 2 weeks. What are you saying?
Like I said, I can understand that things like that can hurt someone a lot. And I know that. But it's like, well, yeah, it's just the 2 weeks, but also it's just like there must have been something else beforehand to have gone to that extreme. It's like, I don't know, maybe that was like the final straw, but that doesn't make it your fault, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, they might have already had a ton of problems that was already pushing them to the edge, correct? And then
I don't want to make... I'm not going to bring up their law, right? Because I don't want to go that far. But they have gone through things and got fired from jobs for X amount of reasons and stuff.
Yeah, it's just...
And it's like...
I don't get it. Like when people do that. It's like, I understand that there's a lot going on and you're really... And like I said, you breaking up must have been like the final straw for this person to kind of reach their worst breaking point, but that does not make it your fault. That is something that they had to take care of themselves beforehand if they knew they were getting that bad, you know what I mean? But it's like, you being the last straw, if that's the case, it's just, you know, chat, stuff like this, it's not your fault. If there's already things that are happening previously that are causing you to spiral, and you just happen to be the last thing, that doesn't make it your fault. Just remember that, okay? You know what I mean?
God damn, no wonder these fuckers have been tweeting about me every single week if this is genuinely what they think has happened.
And I say that as a mentally ill person. I'm just like, it's not, you just happen to be the last straw, but it doesn't make it your fault, and it's not grounds to blame you for it. Am I right? Like, I don't know, I feel like shouldn't be held against you. Personally. It just happened to be that you were last straw, but that doesn't mean you did it with intent. You know what I mean? Just remember that, folks. I understand, because I am also a mentally fucked person, but it's just like, eesh.
That's why she left the community. She was never in the Sonic community to begin with. That is... Okay. No, I'm just continuing reading the DMs about how my ex claimed that I, ran her out of the community, in a sense. And it's like, but you... What?
Yeah, well, I don't know how you kick somebody out of a fandom.
She never cared about Sonic, even. So this is just straight up not true. Never happened. Bro told me he loved me in our first convo.
Huh?
Chat. That right there is all you need. That's all you need to know, really. If you love someone after just one DM with them, like a sister, I'm sorry, chat. How am I my.
It's like I said, it's just a weird situation to be in when somebody's that mentally fucked already.
And there's so many things that my ex has done that I'm just not going to bring up.
Yeah.
When it comes to... Usually when you go to court, right, and you have witnesses, those witnesses have to have some form of credibility to even have any chance of any meaningful conviction. And I'm sorry to say that my ex has zero credibility based on her past actions that I will not repeat here.
Well, shoot. I would refrain from, you know, straight name dropping in comments, but that's interesting to know.
They did the same thing. Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either.
So what did... Wait, so, Shade, what did the person you just mentioned think about all this? Do they believe them, or do they have the same opinion as you, or, like, what's the... Because I haven't... To be fair, they have been liking my tweets and being in us, you know, being around, so... I'm interested to know.
Wow. Yeah, if there's something that they should know, then I would DM it to, I guess, Bella is who you said your initials with?
Oh no, I'm just asking what's their opinion. What was the other person's opinion? I'm not that interested to go in a rabbit hole.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever happened, I hope the person you named is okay. I guess they are.
I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised. That would be appreciated, Shade. Because I know that person. We don't talk, admittedly, that much, but yeah.
Goes that karma, I guess. Joking.
Wow, we have learnt a lot of stuff together, chat. I've told you guys stuff. You guys have told me stuff, which was not what I was expecting today. Cisco push someone to suicide. Fucking give over.
Again.
Come at me with a come at me with a more at least try to make your fucking allegations believable next time. And maybe some screenshots. You know, some screenshots will help a long way. But you'll never find those screenshots. They never happened. It's all in your head. And I'm sorry that that's what's happened. But it is all in your head that I'm this person that you think I am.
No, we appreciate that, Shade, because, you know, sometimes he'll just be crazy.
Don't let trolls get you down, but that's the thing, though. These people were actual loyal, you know, supporters of my content. They were more than just trolls. They were. I'm not gonna go as far. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they want my family, because that's cringe. I'm sorry. Just wow. So, what was that about moving on and redemption? What was that about? I thought you're supposed to seek second chances in people.
Only if you're a woman.
Like, crazy.
What a mess.
Oh man, you know, yesterday when I spoke to my new employer, right? I made a comment saying that, oh yeah, in the 10 years I've been on YouTube, I've seen everything, right? I was wrong. I lied to my new employer. As of yesterday, I did not in fact see everything. But after today's stream, I have now seen everything. Cause wow. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm speechless about the suicide thing. That is just completely made up.
That's crazy.
You know, I think, you know what? I think that surpasses the racism one now in the tier list of allegations. I think that has to go in A tier. If we were to rank false allegations. So let's see here. I've had one pedo allegation, one racial allegation, one push into suicide allegation now. I'm
You're on a record book this year.
What's next? What can people possibly accuse me of next is... Like, how many cease and desist do I have to send out until everybody shuts the fuck up? I don't send out cease and desist because I want to silence people. I just want people to fucking leave me alone. Well, I know which conventions I want to perform at next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit crazy, bro. Like,
it's quite insane the pull I have on people apparently, right? Because I've had people deadass not come to conventions because I'm there. Which is just... Yeah, like where?
Stay away then. I don't care.
I'm just like, where are all these? I'm sorry. If any of these things were remotely true, there would have been at least one attempt.
You would have had like 3 docs on you by now.
One single attempt would have been made in these past 10 years by now. I'm sorry. That you are... If you're not gonna back your shit up by making a Google Doc on me, then no one's... No. I'm actively challenging y'all to make a Google Doc. Let's see what happens. Talk the talk. Because if you're gonna throw allegations like that against me, I expect you to talk the talk. And ultimately walk the walk. Yeah. But I see a lot of talking for people that are sat in chairs. They think that they're walking, right? But they're ultimately on a treadmill. You know, you walk all you want, but you're ultimately just going nowhere. Oh, I'm such a moron. I was looking for my boat for like the whole time, and the boat was in my inventory.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank you to... I don't know. I got a notification that I had...
gifted a membership.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
2 yummy chili dogs.
I was very hesitant to speak out today, but now I'm glad I did, because I would not have known this new information.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, one of my ex-co-hosts owes me like fucking $50. Are you really gonna call me out?
What a day.
Like, here's the other thing, right? Let's play devil's advocate and say that I wasn't the best like boyfriend, and which, by the way, she said I was she said I was her best boyfriend, so I don't want to hear it. I have screenshots of that.
Yeah, that's why I said it. It's like one of those things where I say it's probably just something that was building up, and then you just happened to be the last straw, but you shouldn't be blamed for that. How it is sometimes.
But let's say that I was a horrible boyfriend, right? And I quote unquote manipulated her. What did I exactly manipulate her on? That is very... I feel like if you're gonna say that I manipulated someone, are you gonna give an example of what the manipulation was, or?
Right.
Because I bet you they never gave an example to Shade
Probably not.
as to what this manipulation was, quote unquote.
No, they didn't. Yeah, figures.
I mean, the most I'll admit to is that I'll sometimes passionately argue to someone about something if I think that they're making a mistake. That is the one thing I do admit doing to my ex, is that she was going to make a huge mistake with a sponsorship deal, because she does Twitch streams and stuff. And the way the deal was structured was horrible, because she would only get money if people actually bought the product using a code. And she averaged like five viewers. Still does. And so I tried to tell her, I was like, this is a huge mistake that you're making. And I remember she just threw it back in my face. Because she knows Twitch more than me, quote unquote. Even though it really doesn't matter whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. But that just proves you could take accountability, something they're like. I mean, I don't even know if that's the main thing. That's all I can think of that I've done that would be misinterpreted as manipulating. I call it. I just call it just trying to tell someone that they're making a mistake on something. Alpha Morgan with the gifted membership. Thank you, my guy.
Oh, been a while. Hello. Thank you.
Well, I can't wait for a new round of tweets about me tomorrow. That'll be great to wake up to.
Yeah.
But it's just gotten to the point now. Like, I know I said I was in a bad place a few months ago, but you know when something happens to you so often, you just don't even feel anything anymore. Yeah, I've become desensitized to these serious allegations now because it's like, oh, here we go. Another serious allegation with no screenshots or testimonies or anything like that. Let's throw it onto the let's throw it onto the pile with the other serious allegations that never took off the ground because they never had a single screenshot to back it up.
Why do you think my emotions don't barely exist? I become desensitized to everything. All of my actual emotional shit was all
Chat,
got drained in my
do you-
teenhood.
do you now understand, chat, why I was so desperate to go to MagFest now? It's because of all this. I needed that vacation.
Yeah. And we
Like,
got
people
another
were-
one in November.
People were telling me that I shouldn't have gone because of my medical stuff, but no one truly understood the mental anguish I was going through at the time.
Yeah, I didn't consider that at first myself, and then, you know, you told me, and then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I needed that social interaction.
Yeah.
And that's why I really want to go. I really, really want to go to Expo.
Would also like to.
No, you're going. Right, JP?
Yeah.
You're going. Please don't accuse me of manipulating you.
No, I won't.
Speaking of,
'Cause-
depending on the weather tomorrow, I may get my whole cosplay outfit tomorrow.
Oh, that's
Yo,
awesome.
let's go.
Because if it's raining, I'm going golfing with my dad as promised. But I'm sorry, if it's sunny. Why am I saying
I
it's
was gonna
raining?
say, what?
Yeah, hold on. If it's sunny, I'm going golfing with my dad as promised. However, it is supposed to be like a 90% chance of rain tomorrow. My dad's like, oh, we're gonna go. I'm like, Dad, it's gonna rain all freaking day. That's what it looks like. So if it's a no-go, then I'm just gonna go shopping for my outfit instead.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, Bionic, like, one way or another, we will make this fucking happen.
I know.
Whether I have to give you a fucking long-term loan or whether I make a fucking fundraiser for you, we are going to make this happen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I've just made a lot of fucking mistakes this month, of course.
Oh,
Things with
Oh,
bills
absolutely.
and shit.
It's okay. We're going to make you not feel as bad with those mistakes. Cause many people have said to you, Bionic, that like, oh, I can help you and stuff like so. You've got myself.
I know.
You've got QT that has offered support as well. You've got multiple people that have said so. So
I
I'm sure
know,
we
but
can.
just-
I'm sure we can work something out.
Yeah, I know. I just always feel guilty about that kind of stuff, and I try as hard as I can to do it myself.
Yo, Shade, thank you for becoming a member. I'm so glad this whole ass rant has convinced you to become a member. I'm I'm glad my manipulation is working.
Oh my gosh. Disclaimer: he's not manipulating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I'm so desensitized to the manipulation accusation because that specific accusation, mean being manipulative, that is like so it's so old now. Like it used
Like
it
far back.
in terms of the false allegations, manipulation is like F tier now. We have the suicidal pushing in A tier, racism and pedo in B plus tier, and we have manipulation in like fucking F tier. It's just so fucking down. Like, come on, guys. To all the people that hate me, come on, guys. Be more inventive, at least. At least make it at least a little bit more believable. See, look at that, guys. He's gaslighting his chat.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever, man. It's scary how often it gets used.
Yeah.
Oh no, man. What do I even say?
I don't know, anything you say gets twisted in some way.
Like, you could make the argument, oh, Cisco, you should be ignoring these people. Brother, I've ignored some of these people for fucking years. It doesn't work anymore. Like, sometimes ignoring someone makes it worse. I promise you, not every person has the same solution. Because obviously you have some people, right, where ignoring them is the solution. But when you are dealing with psychopaths, unhinged sociopaths, right, ignoring them is not the solution anymore. Because they actually grow. Because, let me turn off the fucking Mario Kart music. Get out of here. Alright. Real
Messing up
talk.
the flow.
You're messing up my flow. It's too happy. Okay. Here's my logic, right? If you ignore someone who thrives on talking shit about you, sometimes you not responding gives them the idea that you have power over that they have power over you. Does that make sense? Like, I talk shit about Cisco on Twitter this week, and guess what? He didn't say a single thing. I'm scaring the fuck out of him. Let me do some more. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like in my brain, I'm just like,
It doesn't
you're
always.
so irrelevant.
It doesn't. Ignoring someone doesn't always work.
True.
And unfortunately, I've had to make difficult decisions to actually, this is like four. I've sent cease and desist to 4 people now. It's fucking draining, dude, doing this. Like, I have to take the time out of my day sometimes to go to my legal attorney and show them, hey, this is what's happened. There is this person who has accused me of, say, a false allegation. Do I have permission to go ahead with a cease and desist? It's fucking draining.
Yeah.
It's not even to silence people. It's just to I just leave me the fuck alone. Holy shit. I'm going to fucking turn into the Joker one day and actually become a fucking evil person.
No, don't do that.
Life is but a comedy.
Nah, we got you. You won't go that far. We won't let you give in to the dark side. Like everyone else.
Would it be wrong outright if you were bluntly public about it? What do you mean?
What are you talking about being bluntly public about?
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. chat. Bear with me. I'm so glad that all my enemies don't all talk to each other, because that really will be a fucking horrible time for me.
It'll literally be like the fucking...
It will. If all my former friends got together, because all these people are from different eras that are talking about me. If they all came together, holy fucking shit, would this be the fucking Avengers of allegations?
True. It's like also like Ramona and her 7 exes from Scott Pilgrim.
Oh my god. Luckily, I only had 2 relationships ever. Oh, by the way, my first relationship, yeah, they also call me a manipulator. What else is fucking new?
Well...
Oh my god. What was the heinous crime I did on my first relationship? I said no to a polyamorous relationship.
Jeez.
So, I'm tired, bro.
It's like
I'm
not
just
everyone has
fucking
to be
tired.
comfortable with that, like damn. Y'all can... whatever, you know, if you have people who like being in a polyamorous relationship, that's fine, that's cool, you do that, but you can't force someone into it and then get mad when they refuse. I don't feel like that's very fair.
Oh, see, this is where we differ a little bit, because I'll actually say no, that's not right.
No, I'm not saying that No, I'm saying it's like if these people have their relationship and all of them are in some kind of weird mutual agreement that they're okay with that stuff, then whatever, but you shouldn't try to force someone else into it that doesn't want to be.
I just don't want...
For it, I don't know why, but you know, it's a preference.
Yes, I just don't want people to talk about the way I do things when I see you in a polyamorous relationship. I don't want to hear you talk. Because I do not support polyamorous relationships in any shape or fashion. It is a complete disregard to the whole point of loving someone.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like
You're all... It's whatever. I'm probably gonna...
Rare people.
It's whatever. I'm not gonna go too... It's whatever. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, because I'll probably get fucking thrown the bigot fucking allegation to throw to the pile.
No, yeah, probably.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I think that's good to conclude today's stream. Thank you all. Of course, this was the most viewed live stream in many in many months, because of course it's always the fucking let's talk streams that do the fucking best, you know. So
People don't want video games; they want tea.
Repo, fuck that. I want to hear about Cisco's latest episode in his life of what's going wrong.
His latest scandal.
Yeah, the latest scandal. I'm about to, like, you know, one of those Wheel of Fortune things, but instead of the amount, you know, money amounts, it's just the allegation of the week on there. Mm-hmm. Let's just spin the wheel and see what happens. Oh, fucking racism. Oh, that's... Wow, what a flavor of the week. Next. So, yeah. Stay safe, everybody. If anybody comes to you guys about something, until you hear my side of things, always take it with a pinch of salt. Unless there's screenshots of me being a piece of shit, then fair play. But there isn't. And I know there isn't. And that's the lesson you should take from this, chat, is you will make a fool of yourself if you take sides with people against me and not have a single screenshot to actually make that decision. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Goodbye, everyone.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.